All right. I think we're good. Welcome back to another one of these things. Will I ever stop saying, looks like we're ready? I don't know. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. I should probably think of something else that I want to say, like at the beginning of these things. That way it's not just me essentially doing a mic check. It is really just a way for me to make sure that like things are going okay after I press record. Try something new. Anyway, so hope you're doing wonderfully. Welcome to this Monday, another start to the week. Over here's not too bad. A lot of helping people out with things, just like it's like, hey, I need you to take a look at something with me. I'm having a little bit of trouble, and all those kind of things aren't too bad most of the time. It's nice being able to like be like, hey, somebody's like, I'd like to have like, I'd like it if you help me out with something, and then they can go back to doing the thing that they were wanting to do beforehand. So that's okay. I don't mind spending my time doing that for a bit. Anyway, things to talk about today. Let's see. I know I was asking Heather about what I could talk about today a little bit ago, and got a bit of an idea at least. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in an earlier one of these videos that right now we're fostering another dog, puppy this time, and like our dog Rose just totally digs this. She's still got puppy energy. She just turned 2 earlier this month, like maybe a week or 2 ago. And like she's fine, like always playing with the dog, but like having that puppy on a schedule is like really important. Like she just does not she has no tells about what she's going to do really whenever she's going to do something. And by do something I mainly mean go to the bathroom. So she doesn't really let us know anything about when she's about to have to go potty. So there have been plenty of accidents in the house over the past week and a few days, week and a day at this point. And this should be the last week that we have to take care of her before we bring her back to the adoption center, so that people can start stopping by and seeing if they want her to be in their forever home, be her forever home, I suppose is a good way to say that. But one of the things and that's all just transitory. Full disclosure, I actually started this video once already, and because I do them all in one take, I'm just like, oh geez, I forgot what I was gonna say, and I just remembered the transition material of the dog and forgot to actually talk about the thing I wanted to talk about. So anyway, one of the things that we've been doing, because the puppy doesn't have any real tells, we have to like keep an eye out for when she's sniffing around the room without looking for a toy. And if Rose isn't playing with her, chances are it's not her looking to play or anything. So we need to kind of be on alert. And by we, I mainly mean Heather, but I still point out occasionally when Ember is looking like she's looking for a spot to go potty. So one of the things that we've been doing, and we don't do this at all, is watch TV. It's been surprisingly helpful because you don't completely zone out while watching TV. You can still pay attention to other things, but it really just uses time. It just fills time, it feels like. And it got me kind of thinking that I'm kind of glad that I stopped watching TV after high school. Like, I used to have a TV in my room. We had cable in all of our rooms when I was still living with my mom prior to college, and I just sort of took that for granted. It's like, okay, I get home and then I'm just sort of hanging out in my room, either doing homework or playing games, and then at night it's just watch TV until you go to bed. But it really does just feel like time filler. And I started thinking about how I use that time more and how I spend a lot more time watching like videos on YouTube than I have spent watching TV over the past several years, probably since 2006, a little earlier, when I stopped watching like TV regularly. It's so weird that like maybe it's not weird. Maybe it's just because YouTube has people who are putting stuff out there that has some inherent value or potentially has that inherent value. I'm not going to pretend that there aren't YouTubers out there who are just making entertaining content, which is effectively what the TV I would like watch was. It's just entertaining content. Like right now we're going through or watching through Community, which is arguably really funny. I am enjoying watching it, but after watching it, I don't remember much about it. I didn't take anything away from having watched Community other than like diving into why the jokes worked when this was written and how they still work today because of how they're framed. So the only thing I'm taking away from it is really how well directed and scripted everything is, which I never really thought I'd do. Like take an interest in kind of how things are framed and scripted, how things work within kind of a script. But hey, like I'm doing this right now because I want to actually get in front of people and do that kind of stuff eventually. So huzzah, maybe I am actually getting something out of it. But it's like so much less direct than when I'm like actively looking for something on YouTube or potentially like any other kind of service where you're paying to learn things. You're unlocking educational content. I know I've been interested in things like Skillshare for a long time, but the main one that I use is just for development called Pluralsight. But it's just you get to go out there and find things that you will immediately get like some sort of value out of. It's not just entertainment. It can be entertaining. You can have fun doing it, but you're building a skill while you're doing that, or getting some knowledge that you were interested in while like consuming that media. And that's primarily the stuff that I've gravitated toward on YouTube over the past like, oh gosh, how long has it been? Probably like 10 years, maybe 10, 11 years. Yeah, wow, okay. I guess I am getting old. Anyway, I was like, but that's the kind of stuff that I like gravitate toward. I like stuff that's like people thinking about things and presenting them in interesting ways. Or like a really good review of something. I really like, let's see, some of the stuff that I do like follow. Maybe I can go take a look at some of that stuff. And things can load up. I know when I started like looking through YouTube, I'm like, Vsauce was one of the ones that like just stuck out like immediately. 3 blue, 1 brown, 12 tone. 3 blue, 1 brown being mathematics, and well, not really statistics, mathematics primarily. 12 tone, which is music theory. Crash course, which is just really good if you're looking to just to be like, I want to learn something and just go through like a whole course of things from like 101 to 40 whatever. Extra credits, GDC, which is Game Development Conference, a few like development like specific channels, Kurzgesagt, SciShow. I guess even like things like the Game Theorists and Wisecrack, they're just like ways to think about something in a different way or frame something in a different light, where you're not necessarily getting like a skill that you will use, but like it's sort of an exercise in being open-minded, which I really enjoy. That it's just I think about something a certain way, I watch something that presents that in a different light, and I learn something new about it. It might not be the de facto way to look at something or to perceive something, but it is a way that you could perceive it, and opening your mind to being like, okay, yeah, I can see how you'd get to that is kind of interesting. So like I really like those kinds of videos where it's like you're getting something you're getting something out of that. And having gone through a few days of just being like both Heather and I are like it's fun watching this, but it just feels like a waste of time. And that's just how TV, it feels like, was just designed to be. It's, we want your eyeballs in front of it because we don't know when you're going to go away. We want you watching this, and we want you to sit here as long as possible. We're going to use every trick in the book to keep you staring at this screen. Because it is, in retrospect, quite a boring thing to do. Just sit there, not helping yourself in any way, but whatever's coming out of that apparatus is entertaining enough to keep you around. Despite that, you do nothing but waste time, which is okay. It's okay sometimes. Like, a lot of what made me want to get into game design initially is that that's an important thing. In a world as stressful as ours, being able to unplug and just have a good time, be entertained every once in a while, that's a good thing. That's why the entertainment industry is as big as it is, because we all need that kind of escape every once in a while. But at the same time, like, it feels like it should just be every once in a while. And you can find things that are entertaining but also engaging in a certain way. That's part of why I like video games, just because it's an interactive way of dealing with the same thing that, like, television would. So instead of just living through someone's experience, you get to kind of live your own in an interactive world. When done right. And that's not to say there aren't games that you really just get nothing out of. It's just entertaining. And then the only things you really learn are the things that are things like how I just talked about with, like, Community. It's like, how does this work? And, like, why does this work? And why do people like this? How is this engaging? Why is it engaging? How can you repeat this with other things? That's game design. That's a lot of what I learned post first degree of college. So, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of interesting just thinking about that and reflecting on that same feeling, because it's been a long time since I've felt that. Since I've watched TV more than one day in a row to simply fill time. And it works that well for this situation because of its lack of engagement. I don't have to be invested in this thing for terribly long, and it's very easy to pull away from if you want to, if you can. So it is kind of what it is. So we're kind of looking forward to getting to the end of this week. Not because we don't like watching Community, it's funny, but because it doesn't feel as fruitful as anything else that we would normally do. Painting, making music, watching YouTube videos even. At least the ones that we normally would. So anyway, I think that's probably about it. Not sure what the kind of core thing there is. Be careful with some of the entertainment that you engage with. Understand when it's simply being entertaining to keep you entertained, and maybe try and supplant some of that dead entertainment. Maybe that's a decent way to put it. With something that's entertaining to you and you get value out of it in return. And that can be anything, really. It could be learning a new skill. It could be just a mind-opening experience. It could be learning a new way to look at something, or some new scientific discovery, some mechanics thing, some new pattern in code, or a new way to write, or a new technique you can do, and anything. There's a lot of content out there that isn't simply there to keep you glued to a screen. So with luck, advertisers will land in front of those too. So yeah, try and find those things for yourself. I think you might like it. And it'll be interesting when you do kind of see it's like, oh yeah, this was entertaining and it wasn't simply filling time for me. And at the same time, like, don't think you have to like purge all of that out of the way. It's always good to have something that's just like, I don't have to think right now. I can kind of turn my mind off and fill some time and not have to be as much as I usually am. So, with that, nice little talk about entertainment. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday, and we'll catch you tomorrow. See ya.